Please welcome to the stage Richard Sauerman, the brand guy.
Hey everybody, who was here last year? You're thinking, yeah, shit, it's that guy again, yeah? Yeah, I was here last year as well, but it's different, okay? I don't have a one-horse thing I'll just write out every time, just to reassure you, okay? What I want to do, I guess my role this morning is to set the scene for this whole day of, disruption, innovation, what it's all about, yeah? And I'm going to lay the bedrock for that for you guys in the next 25 minutes. The title of my talk is called Driving Change, Step Out of Your Comfort Zone and Fly Closer to the Sun. Okay, there's kind of a few elements to this. The first is driving change, and I want to talk about that first up, and you'll see how I covered that. Are you in the driving seat? Are you owning change? Are you taking it on and driving it? The thing about stepping out of your comfort zone, so I think if you talk about disruption, innovation, there's a need to step out of your comfort zone. The point about flying close to the sun, and that kind of weird visual there, is a reference to Icarus. So Icarus was a young guy who built these wings out of wax, and his dad said to him, dude, whatever you do, Icarus, don't fly too close to the sun, my boy, because the sun will melt your wings. And of course he did, and the sun melted his wings and he died. Yeah? There's another part to that story which is not told, okay? But basically the lesson out of that story is whatever you do, don't aim too high, don't fly too close to the sun, just put your head in, buddy, and you'll be good, yeah? There's another part to that story which I want to cover in my talk, and you'll see when I get there. Here's the journey I'm going to take you through. 3 steps, 3 parts of the single presentation. Driving change, the first of all, the whole notion of driving change, and are you driving it in your life, in your business. Second thing is aiming high, which goes back to the Icarus story, where you're setting your sights and how are you actually aiming. The third is know your superpower. Woo! The thing that's going to get you there tomorrow. Now, when I talk about change and innovation, I am not here to give you a kind of discourse on the, theory, management theory of change and innovation and all this kind of stuff. You got some pretty interesting program today with people in your industry who've actually done a lot of this, who'll be telling you their stories, what they learned, what they discovered, and that's awesome. I'm not going to cover it from this. What I'm talking to and who I'm talking to is you. Because for me, what's important is you can have all the lessons and all the theory and all the textbooks in the world, is the attitude. I'm interested in your attitude, your belief, your conviction in yourself. So the person I'm talking to today is what I call brand you. I brand everything, by the way. But you are the most important brand of all. When I say brand you, it's not like there's the real you, and then there's the brand you. It's like, no. The brand you is the real you, yeah? It's what do you stand for, what do you want for yourself, what do you bring to the party? That's what I want to talk to this morning and get you thinking and believing in the next 25 minutes, yeah, man, this is something I'm up for, something that I can take on. Is that cool? So that's the best objective here. When I do that, there's another important part of the conversation, and it's you talking to yourself. It's called the voice in your head. Do you know that voice? Yeah, the voice in your head? If you don't know it, it's the voice saying, what voice is this guy talking about? It's that voice, yeah? So listen, because that's where the value is, and listen to what you're saying to yourself as I put this stuff, because I'm here to provoke you and nudge you and hopefully inspire you a little bit as well. So just be aware of how you react to what I'm saying. So first of all, driving change, all right? Let's talk about driving change. And let me jump straight into this. I just want to show you, this is your future, okay? Welcome to your future. There it is. It's like, there's the red dot. That's the sort of nominal, 2050, kind of that's where it's going. You can look at various technological milestones on the rate of change curve. And as you can see, the curve is getting steeper and steeper, yeah? So it's not change that's startling, it's the acceleration and the rate at which the world is changing. And the nominal date set for technological singularity, that is in artificial intelligence, pretty much, when machine and man, in fact, machine then starts to have an intelligence beyond even what human beings have, like that or not, is set for 2045, okay? That's sort of where it's all headed, yeah? Where it all converges and becomes one glorious thing. So, because it's pretty unclear, isn't it? Like, what's the world going to be like in 20 years' time, 30 years' time, your industry, your business? Well, who really knows? I love this definition of change, used by Margaret Mead, who was a social anthropologist, spent a lot of time in Papua New Guinea, watching communities where nothing had changed, literally for thousands of years. And she described change as like being an immigrant into a new time. It's an awesome description if you think about it. So, like, I arrived here. Yes, I am South African. Like, yeah, okay. In 1987, when I arrived here, what does it mean? I'm an immigrant in a new country. I look around. I take my cues. I see. I learn. I adjust. Immigrants into a new time. There's no handbook. There's no instruction manual. There's no sign saying, "Yep, do this and you'll be set." It doesn't work like that. Yeah. In other words, it's like you don't know what's around the corner, and that's the vibe and that's the world. A way of looking at it is like this. Let's say this is the world that you've grown up in and lived in and worked in, and that's a metaphor for it, and it looks like that, and you know because you're an expert and you're a professional. You also know that that is the map of the world because when you were in kindergarten, that hung up on the back of the wall in the classroom. That's it. I know. The thing is, if you walked in space, as some people have done, the world doesn't look like that. Yeah? You see this here? It's not upside down. The words are spelt the right way around. This is disruption, if you like. This is a valid way of looking at life and the world. And this is the challenge for us. This is what disruption is. This is what change is. The world hasn't physically changed, but in a sense, everything's changed by just doing it that way. So this is an interesting way of thinking about the world, your world change, and where it's going. Okay, so if that's the situation, yeah, so we're talking about driving change. So is change happening, it's happening so fast and all that. Is this a glass half full or a glass half empty scenario for you? How do you feel about that? Yeah? And it's not a second slide with a half empty glass, by the way. And that's an important point. There it is. You get to choose. Yeah, there's shit things about change, and there's scary things about change, and there's real pain in the ass things about change. But there's amazingly exciting things and wonderful things and extraordinary things awaiting as well. It's up to you. How do you want to choose it? And life comes like that. It doesn't all just come as roses and half full and beautiful. There's also other stuff, yeah? You get to choose. This is a choice, a decision that you need to make, okay? So let me help you make this decision and make this choice. If you're leaning towards glass half empty, if you're leaning towards a point of view that says, I do not like change, and to be honest with you, if it didn't exist in my life, and life was just like the good old days, and I knew that what I'd be doing in 10, 15 years, my business would pretty much be the same, I'd be very happy, okay? So the iPhone 10 is going to give you that option. There it is, and you'll notice in the bottom right, there's a little app called No Change. Yeah, it's a No Change app. Now you can use that app to fix your life. No changes whatsoever. You can have it exactly as you want. In fact, not only can you have no changes, you can actually plan the perfect existence, the perfect partner, perfect children, the job of your dreams, your business will be where you want it to be, everything you want, all your hopes, dreams and aspirations that you wish you could just lock them in and fix them in, and yes, it can be done. Okay? So I give that to you. I give that to you. So change is eliminated, no need for insurance. I mean, wonderful thing, yeah? You have that for 6 months. You'll come back to me after 6 months, so what do you think you'll say? I'm bored. Man, I'm bored. Richard, I need a surprise me button. I need to be surprised. I need to not know what's coming up. I need to be in that space, you know? We can't have it the other way. So we think we want it all like that, we want it all set and fixed and done deal and all, you know. But actually, if I give you that choice, you don't want that. You want something to surprise you. Yeah? Like that, you see? Look there. It's a little joke. You weren't expecting that, were you? Who expects that at 9 o'clock on a Wednesday morning, you know? Okay? So it's like there's a button, and we need to push that button. It's like there's an itch, a human itch in all of us. So I'm going to show you a video of somebody who literally pushes a button. There's a button in a town square. It just says, push this button, yeah? And someone's going to push it eventually. You know, no one's going to jump in and go, oh yeah, let me go first. There's always hesitation around it, but when you do, this is what happens. you up? Yeah, I bet that woke you up. There we go. That's a good way to wake you up, yeah? So here's the thing. I like this stuff. We're talking about driving change, yeah? Some people are born to change the world. Are you one of them? Real simple question, yeah? Some people are born to change the world. Are you one of them? Most people would say no. My job is to sit on the sidelines, participate, sort of catch up a bit, but there's other geniuses out there. They're the ones who are going to do all the great R&D and innovation and make the genius stuff. And it's like a game of tennis. There you are in the grandstands watching the sport, yeah? Chirping away, commentating, lots to say, but no one's actually getting on the bloody court. Get off the grandstands, get on the court, get a sweat and start playing the game, you know? I think that's a choice we have and a decision that we can make. And one of the things that stops us is this, you see? When you go to school, they don't say to you to school, get off the grandstands and get on the court and have a go. You know, school has rules. These are the rules, my friend. Listen to your teacher. Use a quiet voice. Line up. Keep your hands to yourself. Do your work. You know, like what we taught at school is the world's a solved mystery and all the answers. You know, the teacher has the answers or they're in the back of the book. You know, it's not your job to create and invent and, you know, do you think Shakespeare behaved like that in his English class? You know, do you think Einstein or Steve Jobs behave like that in their science classes? And yet we have this paradigm going on for us around what our role is and what we're supposed to do. So here's the thing about driving change. You have a choice. Driving change, it's in your hands, and the choice is this. You can choose, I believe, one of three things. One of three ways to respond to change. You can either fall behind it. You know, okay, well, just not worry about it, okay, which I don't recommend. You can keep up with change, and a lot of industries and people spend most of their time and energy playing this game of catch up and keeping to change and adapting just to keep going, or you can drive change. Literally drive change. Make it happen, have a vision, have a plan, get out there and drive it. But let me just say this, and I'll say it again later on, but right now, when I'm talking about driving change, you might be sitting here thinking, well, you know, change the world, like who the hell am I to do that? You can drive change in your area of impact. Each of us has an area of impact. Your area of impact is your desk, your office, the people that work around you, your friends, your community, the restaurants or suppliers you go and visit. That's your area of impact. And within that area, and your actions daily, you can drive change. You really, really can in the ways that you think you want to be doing it. Yeah, I really believe that. And when everyone does that, because it's a collaborative thing, you don't do it on your own. This is not a solo act. You know, you build on the shoulders of giants and do it together. That's when things start to happen. So that's the first point. Second point is aiming high. So the second part of the Icarus story, his father said to him, also, don't fly too close to the sun, but don't fly too close to the water either, young Icarus, because if you do, the condensation from the ocean will water and you will drown. So that part of the story is forgotten. We never told that. All we told is don't fly too high. But there's as much a danger in flying too low. There's as much a danger in setting your sights too low and not aspiring and aiming high enough. And I think a lot of business thinking is like that. You know, let's just kind of be a bit steady here and a bit sensible. And there's a change going on. I'm working with some people, CSIRO and some CSIRO-related organisations, and a lot of Aussies who've been working in the Silicon Valley have come back to running these organisations. So they've got that Silicon Valley startup, entrepreneurial, commercialisation, 20 years experience and vibe. And this is what they've really talked about, is where you set your sights. And it's not like working for Unilever and Nestle and these massive, massive companies with huge turnovers. And these guys, it's a different way of thinking about business and doing things. And that's where aim high comes from. I'm going to skip that slide. So, let's say we're aiming high, okay? So here's another way of looking at it. What does aiming high mean? Let's say there's a mountain, all right? There it is, there's the top of the mountain, and we have various stages. So now, where are you setting your sights? I'm paying my bills, okay? You know, what does success look like for me? Where am I aiming here? I'm paying my bills, yeah? Not particularly inspirational, but hey, quite pragmatic and essential, I guess. I'm doing my job. I'm doing a pretty decent job. Actually, I'm doing a great job. Or I'm doing an awesome job. Or I am changing the world. Yeah? It's like a sort of order going up there of, you know, the sort of Maslow hierarchy of needs that I've written around success and things like that. Yeah? So the question is, where are you sitting today on that scale? Where are you sitting today? So I want you to use the voice in your head. You know, that voice we talked about. I'd like you to give yourself a score out of 10, please, for this statement. The statement is, I am doing an awesome job. Yeah? So if you're at 10, well, you are just like the most awesome living kind of legend in this room right here, right now. All hail to you. If you're a 1, it's just time to go home and pack up your bags, okay? It's a total fail. Or you're somewhere in between, okay? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm looking, please, for a show of hands. Any 10s? Any 9s? 2, 3, 4, 5. Any 8s? Oh, there's quite a lot of 8s there. 20. Any 7s? 25. 6s. 15 there. 5. Oh. Sure? Okay. Average score? Average? Back on there. 20, about 7, yeah? Pretty much a 7 is the average, yeah? Yeah? 7, isn't it? There it is. Now, you set your sights at being a 7, you'll be a 7. You aim for a 7, you'll be a 7. That's it. You see those guys there? All that? That's a 7. It's a pretty comfortable space. It's not extraordinary, it's not amazing, it's not breakthrough. You're hardly going to be a major driver of change if you say, yeah, I'm a 7. It's okay. You won't die for being a 7, you won't lose your job, business won't go bankrupt for being a 7, but it's a 7. And today's about disruption and about innovation and about being brave and bold and having courage. You're not going to get there being a 7, okay? It's not an option. You set your sights on the moon and you'll reach the moon. Let's get out of this earth now. Let's look beyond the planet, okay? Because I want to share with you the story of someone who's doing exactly that. Somebody in this world who has set his sights beyond the moon, okay, and employs 2,000 people today in America. And this is them at the launch of one of their new things, okay? Can you tell me which company this is, please? Here's the launch event. Their staff going crazy. Tell me which company you think this is.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Come on!
Yep, any ideas? Huh? Tesla, good guess. SpaceX, yeah. Tesla's the same company, Elon Musk. See, Elon Musk was on 60 Minutes the other night, so I think probably more Australians know about him now because he was on 60 Minutes, yeah? He's funded PayPal, sold it for billions of dollars, started Tesla, Solar City, another one, and now SpaceX. And here's their website. This is the front page. Very simple. This is it. SpaceX designs, manufactures, and launches advanced rockets and spacecraft. The company was founded in 2002 to revolutionize space technology with the ultimate goal of enabling people to live on other planets. Okay? That's what he's about. That's why they exist. They are going to build a colony on Mars. People are going to live on Mars. Okay, you go, well, no, it's not. There's thousands of people who work for this company. There's billions of dollars in it. At the moment, they're flying rockets up and they're supplying goods to the International Space Station. NASA gets them to do it because they can do it at a third of the price that NASA can do it. And every now and then, one of the rockets blows up. But that's not a disaster because it's a temporary setback. But, you know, the real plan here is Mars. Okay? So because the sights are set so high, these little failures are almost like short-term bumps, if you know what I mean. So here's Elon Musk talking briefly about his vision to go to Mars. Oh, sorry. Oh, by the way, just before I show you that, yeah, if you go to their website, you can also, it's like, these are the two rockets. It's almost like you can order them online, kind of, you know. You can get the Falcon 9 or the Falcon Heavy. Which one would you want? Depends on the size of your payload. And there you go. This is real, man. This is what's happening, okay? This is about as forward-thinking as he gets, I think. It's like quite amazing what this guy does. Here he is.
My name is Elon Musk. I helped create PayPal and then Tesla.
NASA turns to the private sector to resupply the International Space Station.
I recently helped create SpaceX. The reason I got into space exploration was because it didn't seem to me that we've been making the progress that we should make, given the fact that we could get to the moon in 1969. fact, it seemed like we were going backwards.
3, 2, 1, and liftoff of the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket.
I thought it was important that we ultimately be on a path towards creating self-sustaining civilization on Mars. And NASA awarded us one of 3 contracts to upgrade our capability to human transport.
What we're looking at here is a Dragon spacecraft pressure vessel.
And I like working on engineering and design. Sales and finance, not really my forte. We intend to keep advancing space technology until it's possible for people to go to Mars. If I live, say, another 20 years at least, I think it'll probably happen.
Similar story the other day. Stephen Hawking has just raised $100 million to look for alien life. Yeah. It's not just some talk thing. There's like serious money and dough and commitment behind these things. He's not just raising $100 million to look into space, which is what he could have said. He's looking for alien life. Building massive telescopes to find alien life. That's what he says, you know. Talk about aiming high. So that's what I mean by aiming high. Be audacious, be bold, set your sights really, really high. Don't necessarily put that into your business plan for the next 3 years because, you know, but it's an important thought, and that's what these guys are doing more and more. Be a bit outrageous, be a bit bold, be a bit audacious if you want to be disruptive, truly innovative. Third thing is know your superpower. What's your superpower, okay? Now, let me ask you this question. What are the key attributes of a person who changes the world? So somebody who's a world changer, somebody who's doing all these things, you in the room here who's doing awesome stuff. What are the kind of attributes, human attributes to drive this? Just shout them out, please. Passion, courage, belief, curiosity, vision. Huh? Problems? What do you mean problems? Solve problems. Solve a problem, no. Yeah. Couple more. Determination. Okay, so it goes, yeah? So get this kind of language, yeah? This is the sort of language. Passion, courage, belief, self-belief, curiosity, vision, solving problem, determination. First thing about these words that I find kind of interesting is that you can't say, I have courage, self-belief, and I'm curious, but I'm a 7. Can you? You know, by talking in this way, using this kind of language, you take this whole thing out of the equation. Like, this is it. You know, these are superpowers. If your superpower is courageous, and let's face it, you have to have courage to do some of this stuff. You can't say, I'm courageous, but I'm a 7. It's like, well, dude, I mean, are you or aren't you? You know, like, what is it? You can't say, I have passion, but I'm a 7. So by owning a superpower and saying that's who I am, automatically this whole, you know, I'm awesome or not, this whole sort of scaling and this limiting thing we have, you know, we tend to limit ourselves and pull our head ins a bit and, you know, okay, I'll just play it safe here. And, well, you can't do it when you start doing that, okay? The other thing about this language is that the one time you create your own brand, I mean, literally you create your brand, is when you create a CV, like you write it out, you'll see, this is me, you know, what's on the CV? Dates, acronyms, years, experience, you know, various skills. Is this on the CV? This is it? Passionate, courageous, curious, visionary problem solver? Just waiting, you know, to make a, you know, dent in your company? No. You know, there's a section called hobbies and interests, you know, rugby and cooking and ballet or something, and that's about it, you know, that's enough about me, you know, and then you join an organisation that's all about disruptive and innovation, and they give you a job and a job description, and oh, sadly, these words aren't in the job description either. In other words, we recognize this language, we recognize what I call superpowers, and we go, yeah, these are the things that are important, but in the system of procuring people, HR, hiring, bringing people jobs, giving people roles and responsibilities, this kind of falls through the cracks. So I'm inviting you to own this and go, yeah, what's my thing, and really take that on. And what is your superpower? Okay? We'll forget the video, mate. Don't worry about it, okay? It's the time. Here's the question. What is your superpower? Okay? Looking at all these things. And it comes back to you. You, the individual. And it's not an intellectual thing. It's something you feel. You know what it is. It's in your heart. Now there's a risk here, okay? So let's go back. Does somebody want to have a superpower they want to share? Anyone? Oh, good. Passion. There you go, you see? Now he's a brave man to do that, yeah? Because to do that, he's got to stand out. You see, when you own a superpower, you say, yeah, that's my thing. I'm going to put my balls on the line and do this. You've got to stand out. No one wants to stand out. That's why nobody wanted to be a 10. People hate standing out. You've got to be the guy wearing the red suit. You know, the grey, everyone's a 7. So in a world of 7, to say, yeah, this is me, this is what I am, you've got to stand out. But there's a reluctance around that. Do I really want to do that? Just pull your head in, mate. Isn't that what we do in Australia, you know? The whole tall poppy thing, just kind of keep it cool, you know? And what if I fail? Oh my God, you know? I mean, what if? What if I come in with all my courage and it's a disaster? Yeah, man, you will fail. Do you know how many times Elon Musk has failed? He's built his whole business on failure. They all have. All these people have. You just hear the sweet success story bit of it. It's all about failure. You have to fail. If you're interested in disruption and innovation, you have to fail. If you're not failing, you're not innovating. It's as simple as that, yeah? And then it's like, yeah, but I'm too busy anyway. I'm too busy. You know, I got shit on, man. I haven't got time for this stuff, you know? That's fine. You'll be a spectator watching the tennis match. Just watching it go by because you're too busy to even get on the court, yeah? This is your choice. You see this quote? The Dr. Seuss quote, today you are you, it's truer than true, there's no one alive as you than you. It's his most famous quote, I think. Do you think he wrote that for 5-year-olds? Do you think 5-year-olds need to be told that or reminded of that? No. He wrote it for mum and dad. Yeah. For us adults, because we forget that. This is the brand you. This is the superpower. This is what you bring as a human being into the equation. What is the you that's you? Yeah? And what is that? You know, at the end of the day, you know, you don't want to lock and fix yourself and say, no, I don't want change. I'm just going to sit here and watch it. What's going on for you? It's about aiming high. It's about playing big. So here's the 3 points. Know your superpower, okay? Please think about it today. Work it out in your head and know what your superpower is. Number 2, don't delay. You haven't got time, is not on your side. That's my life. I'm going to live till 80. That's average. I'm 54. The black bit's gone. There's my sleep, there's my maintenance and other stuff. That's what I got left. It's not a whole lot. Some of you are younger than me, you're looking at me going, sucked in. You're an old guy. Do this for your life. I don't know what age you are, you'll be surprised how small that white space is. And then come back and go, okay, are you going to drive change? And then come back and say, okay, how high are you going to aim or how low are you going to aim? If you realize that's all you've got left, you will aim as high as you can. And then you'll also go, yeah, shit, what is my superpower? Because I want to actually make a difference in the time that I've got left. And my last bit of advice to you is just do something, do anything. Don't sit around planning and pondering and trying to get some idea in your head or some notion of what you might want to do as a perfect formulation, because it's not going to happen. And in fact, this whole issue of disruption and innovation, it's so big, man. It's like an elephant, isn't it? It's like, whoa, shit. How do you eat an elephant? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And that's what you start doing here. One bite. What's your first bite? Take a bite today. Take a bite tomorrow. In your area of impact. And that's what I believe you can start doing. Before you know it, you do that every day of the year. Before you know it, you're right in there. You're driving change. You're making massive impacts. And you're part of the world and where it's going. And you're playing the role that you want to be playing in it. You're not sitting as a spectator watching. Thank you very much for having me.